Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kigam. In today's video, we need to talk about this story from Australia about this CEO who purchased these Cartier watches. It's quite long-winded. I'll tell you what happened. And then I want to talk to you about Cartier's new bags. Do we think they're ugly? And I want to tell you about a decision I've made concerning Cartier. It's a big girl decision. Well, to me, it feels like a big girl decision. So I can't wait to tell you all about it. Make sure you're subscribed and keep watching this video. Christine Holgate is the former CEO of Australian Post, which is the national postal carrier for Australia. And she pretty much bought or authorized the purchase of 4 Cartier watches for top senior executives who she had felt had done really well at their jobs. So she said, hey, it's okay to buy these watches for them. It caused this massive furore, and people were super upset. And even the Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, he was absolutely outraged by this decision because obviously it's the National Postal Service, it's part of the government. Okay, so she pretty much got fired, got sacked, pushed out, forced out, whichever word you want to use, but she was pretty much fired from that job. And she was quiet up until now. So last month she came forward and said, frankly, she'd been bullied, okay, humiliated out of a job that she loved, all because she purchased 4 watches to congratulate hardworking people in her team. And she went for it, guys. She went for the aorta. Are you ready? She said that she felt like if she had been a man, like what happened wouldn't have happened. I was like, look, okay, let's not get too political and too heavy on this channel, but she's right. I mean, if she was a man, I don't feel like she would have been sacked and had all these top-ranking male Australian politicians going in on her. I remember reading and watching a clip on YouTube, and she was really being attacked quite feverishly. And to me, I mean, I don't know, I think different cultures have different views on gifts, particularly like expensive luxury gifts. But I don't feel, and I think she also said like she doesn't, I think I saw a news piece that said she doesn't like regret her actions, which that made me like her more. I'm like, yes, babe, like you let them know, like, because this is just too much. And I think that the response was so over the top because I do think she's right. Like, if that had been a man who had done that or whatever, I do think the man wouldn't have been like fired. I think they probably, at best, they would have been suspended. It seems that this job is very well paid. I believe it's like a 6-figure a year job. It's very well paid. So yeah, so she pretty much got forced out of the job. And I think that she's saying like top politicians, she doesn't name Scott Morrison, who's obviously the Prime Minister of Australia. She doesn't name him, but I think she alludes to top politicians like him, basically bullying her out of a job. So I just wanted to kind of talk about this story. I wanted to talk about it in reference to the idea of luxury gifts and luxury at the workplace. So first of all, let me say, I agree with her. I do think that she was forced out of her job because she's a woman. And Australia is known for being quite a progressive country when it comes to like gender equality. So it's quite shocking to see this story. In my country is very conservative. Let me say that one more time, okay? Tanzania is very conservative. So if that happened here, everyone would just kind of be like, you know, the like culture is conservative. So I think she's right about that. The only thing that I would say is like maybe because it was like funded by the taxpayer, people just get nervous about the way that looks. Maybe people feel like, well, it's taxpayer funded, so maybe you shouldn't like go to Cartier and spend, you know, God knows how many thousands of Australian dollars buying, you know, the Tank or the Santos watches. Okay. Another thing that this brings up is luxury at the workplace. I've always wanted to talk about this topic. I didn't know if you guys was as interested, but I was thinking like, whoa, like imagine walking around like the postal service with a Cartier watch on. That's thug life, okay? That's luxury thug life right there. I think that with the workplace, you need to think about where you work. I know most of you right now are working from home, but when you go back to the office, like you need to think about your job, your career. I'm a bit of a maverick in terms of even when I had like, you know, just standard part-time jobs, I had like little jobs, I was always walking in there like a diva. I was always wearing heels. Like that's just me though, and I always liked to stand out. I didn't really care what other people were doing. I cared what I was doing. But I realized that not every workplace is like that. Some workplaces probably wouldn't be comfortable, quite frankly, with you wearing really expensive luxury things, which brings me on to my next point. This story about the former CEO of Australian Post reminds me of something that happened to me and happened to a friend. Let me tell you my story first. So many moons ago, when I was still living in the UK, I remember I had a mate who it was her birthday, and her birthday was coming up. And I remember the previous birthday, she had said that, oh, no one bought me gifts, like my friends didn't buy me gifts or whatever. She was always kind of flippant in the way she talked, so I wasn't surprised that she didn't get any presents. Just saying. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna rectify that this year. So I remember going to the Chanel concessions in one of the department stores in London, and I bought her like mascara. I bought her Chanel lipstick, which is no cheap feat when you have just like finished uni and you're about to start masters. Fast forward a few weeks, we're all out with some friends, we're having some drinks. And then she's like, oh my gosh, oh, like again, thank you so much for my gift. I just never knew people would waste so much money on like luxury makeup. When I tell you that the earth was shattering, okay, it felt like a scene from the day after tomorrow, that disaster movie. In my head, I was like, oh my goodness, you did not go there. Now, and then I was like, well, why are you kind of having a go at me for buying what you think is expensive makeup? Because to other people, Chanel makeup isn't expensive. To me, it's still expensive, but there you go. And then she's just like, oh my God, I just couldn't believe that people would spend that much money on makeup, And I think at the time, the mascaras must have been about £20 or so. I know they're not £20 today. I can even check on the website to be sure, but they were very affordable at the time. And I remember just being so offended by her comment. I remember thinking like, wow, like, someone's like done something nice for you as a mate, and then you're kind of having a go at the fact that it does cost money. Okay. So I remember, and I'm the kind of person where, like when you watch like American movies, by the way, I love American films, and there's always some person like, you'll speak to my attorney. I'm that person when you say something in public and you try and sun me or something. That's not going to happen. So I had a you'll speak to my attorney moment, except that this time you'll be speaking to Kagam. And I was like, well, what's your problem, girl? Last year you didn't get any gifts. And everyone was like laughing at her. I was like, I know you're not going to be making fun of the fact that I bought you like expensive Chanel makeup, or you think it's expensive, and then you're trying to say that you think it's like a waste of money to buy luxury beauty. So I remember with that experience, after that experience, I didn't buy friends who weren't really, 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 really close friends, really expensive gifts anymore after that. I would only buy expensive gifts for friends who are like ride or die, like we've been through some really tough situations together, we've been through ups and downs together. So a friend of mine had something similar happen to her as well. So she bought her friend, she went even higher than me, she bought a very good friend of hers and coincidentally mine, a Louis Vuitton Speedy. And I remember this was such a stressful situation. So she gave the friend the present for her birthday, and that friend was so happy, so excited. And then as soon as she told her boyfriend, her boyfriend like ruined the mood. I think her boyfriend had like, I wouldn't say financial issues or anything, but he didn't buy her like a lavish gift, or he said it was lavish. I remember those was his words. And I remember me and my friend were like, do you know what a lavish Louis Vuitton handbag looks like? Like, how about we talk about the croc capucines, okay? That's lavish, but anyway. So he kind of felt like, I don't know, I think he felt like that my friend was trying to one up him or something. So he was just really put it into that friend's head, like, oh my gosh, that's such an expensive present. That's so lavish. Like, your friend must have a lot of money. And he was making like a lot of aspersions about my friend and her finances. Like, oh, I bet she got tons of money or whatever. And culturally, all of us are Black Africans, like everyone who was involved in this, all of us. And in the African culture and in the Afro-Caribbean culture as well, I know this to be true, in both of those cultures, like men are seen as protectors and providers, not just by women or society, but they themselves see themselves that way. It's a massive generalization, but I can tell you, someone from the West Indies who lives in the West Indies and someone from the African continent, you will agree with me on this. So I think maybe he felt like he should have been the one to buy her the bag, and for whatever reason he couldn't buy her the bag, and he felt like, I don't know, maybe he felt like he wasn't doing enough or something. Anyway, it was such a stressful situation. I was the one trying to mediate between both of these friends. Bear in mind, I'm not really good friends with the girl who received the Speedy. Like, the girl who gave the Speedy is more of my mate. So in the end, the girl who received the Speedy was like, I should give the Speedy back. I'm like, you can't give back a gift. Oh my God, what is wrong with people? Okay, you cannot give a gift back. Like, I wish I would give you a Speedy and you try and give it back to me. Consider our friendship over in that moment, like game over. So, managed to just say, hey, just like, and at one point she was like defending her man, she's defending her man. And I understood where she's coming from. Like, I would feel the same. I would be trying to defend my man as well if I felt like he was being attacked. And we weren't attacking him, but I was just kind of saying, like, you were so excited about the bag when you got it, but then as soon as you told your boyfriend, he made you feel a way about it. Needless to say, she's no longer with him, she still has the bag. But their friendship didn't survive that toughness, that tough situation. And that also was like another reinforcing thing to me of, oh my goodness, like, the only really close friends should get expensive gifts. And by close, as I said, you guys have been through some of the toughest times in your life together. I think only that friend should get an expensive present, because I feel like if it's someone who maybe you're great friends and everything feels great, and then God brings a situation like that to test both of you. So, thank God she didn't return the gift. As far as I knew, as of a few years ago, she still had the bag. So I don't know. I remember just feeling so like sad about that, because my friend had been doing really well for herself. Even at that time, I was just about to do my master's. I just gotten into my master's. My friend was working. She was, doing very well in London, earning good money, and she wanted to share her success with people. That's actually really what it was about. Anyway, I was like, look, BATCH, you can give me the bag. And even if like, because I didn't meet my husband when I was living in the UK. I met him when I was back here in Tanzania. But let me tell you, okay, my husband was like, oh, this bag, this. I'll be like, let me stop you right there. This is my bag, and no one's gonna check me about it. So I feel like situations like both of those stories I just shared with you now, it just proves like we need to be super careful when it comes to giving people presents. So like the CEO of Australian Post, she was doing something which is completely normal and natural. Like every month, somewhere in the world, there's sales executives or business executives receiving expensive luxury gifts, whether it's wine, Rolexes, Audemars Piguet watches. So big deal. So what? She gave them Cartier. Who cares? I think it's just so over the top. I would love to know what you think. Make sure that you tell me, okay? Super quick. Let's talk about these Cartier bags. Are you buying them? Look, I just feel like Cartier need to go to Daniel Lee of Bottega Veneta, cut him a check, okay? I believe he's from Bradford, I believe that's in Yorkshire. Cut the Yorkshire lad a check. He's doing so well, so proud of him. He's doing so well. They need to cut him a check, okay? Take him to Cartier, design some bags for them. Or maybe do like a Karl Lagerfeld thing. Cut him a big check and let him design some bags for them, because these are not it. I love Cartier so much. There's nothing I wouldn't do for this brand in terms of luxury, but these bags are better than those other disgusting bags I won't even post in this video. Those like red ones that look like they're cases. No, those bags, no. These are a little bit better. I don't like the way the C's look on these ones, so not purchasing. What do you guys think about these bags? So make sure you tell me. Finally, my big decision concerning Cartier. It's not really a big decision. I've kind of hyped it up a little bit. So a few videos ago, I said how I wanted to wait until I would go to a Cartier boutique physically to buy things. But it just looks like as the months and the weeks are going on globally, like global travel right now is looking hard. I still think I can make it to Europe this year and try and score some Hermes pieces. But I feel like I just have to wait for so long in order to score. So when it comes to Cartier, I'd said before I wouldn't buy anything without going in store, but I've actually reversed that decision, and I'm probably going to just buy very soon online. I've already they have like a chat service on their website there, and I explained I live in Tanzania and all the rest of it, and they're like, okay, I can ship it to a UK address and then it can be shipped to me. I'm just worried about measurements. So like for the love bracelet and the Juste Clou, like the measurements for my wrists. Right now I'm still dieting. Actually, as I'm filming this video, I'm on like a super tough diet. So when I finish filming, I have to go have like some juice, some detox juice. I'm thinking about food all the time, but hopefully I'll be looking much slimmer soon. So I'm looking at getting a love bracelet or Juste Clou. Probably going to end up getting the love bracelet. I'm also looking at getting the Diamant Légère earrings and a bunch of other bits and bobs from Cartier, but maybe I'll buy a few things once and then I'll buy one item and then I'll buy something else. But I just decided I'm just going to order it online and get it shipped to Tanzania. I'm going to roll the dice and just take my chances basically with getting it shipped here. It's not even so much of an issue of getting it shipped because everything will be insured. So even if a package or a parcel gets lost by the courier company, the money will be refunded and returned. It's more of like, oh my gosh, like buying really expensive jewelry. My holy grail piece, I've said it so many times, is the Panther de Cartier watch. I love that watch so much. That watch, I think in the UK, don't remember exactly, I think it's £18,000 or something like that. I don't remember. I think that is a huge like risk to take. But when I was speaking to the person on the chat, they were like, whatever you buy, if it doesn't fit, you can absolutely send it back and we'll refund your card. It doesn't matter what part of the world you're from. So that was very reassuring that I can return the watch if it doesn't fit. So I'm looking at the watch as well. So the watch, the bracelets, as I said, the Diamant Leger earrings. I love Cartier. I love everything that they do pretty much, except for their weird, creepy bags. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Johan. But yeah, so I just wanted to let you guys know that. So who knows, maybe very soon you might see something from me. We'll see. I have lots of other things I'm trying to get as well, like Gucci and everything. Everything here is very intentional. And when I buy things, I don't buy them to resell. So resale value, it never comes into my brain ever. So anything I buy is for my permanent collection. I think a lot of people buy for resale value, and I think that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But anything I'm doing, it's like for me. So right now, I would love to get the Gucci Dionysus Super Mini. I want to order that as soon as possible, and that is easy. That's just like ordering it online, getting it shipped to the UK, and then having it forwarded to me here in Tanzania. But with Cartier, because it's jewelry and it's like gold and silver, you know, there are a few other things you need to go through. You need to get things insured beforehand just to make sure that there's no drama. And then when it gets to customs, I have to like just make sure that, you know, all the, you know, duties and fees are paid and all the rest of it. And it will be quite expensive. So I have to like get myself ready for that mentally, but it's not really a big deal. If I was ordering a car from the UK, I would still have to pay tons and tons of duties and fees anyway. So it's not a big deal. So I've decided I'm jumping on the Cartier train sooner rather than later. And I'm changing a lot of the things in my wish list now because I've decided to shop from Cartier earlier. I'm not going to sit and wait around till I can travel. That could be months. Frankly, it could even be next year. I can't wait that long. I need to get things from Cartier as soon as possible. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Thank you so much for watching as usual, and I'll see you in my next video.